Hey guys, welcome back to the DAHKTUBE. And before we get started, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now today we'll be doing angles of depression. So in the previous video, we did angles of elevation, where you know that elevation is when you're looking up towards something. So with depression is when you're sad and you're looking down towards something. So let's say a man is standing on the top of a cliff. So let's say this is our cliff here, and a man is standing at the top, right? And he's looking down at the top of a tree. Now, his horizontal would be from his eyes straight across, and so this is a horizontal. His line of sight would be down towards the tree here. And what you can notice is there will always be a line that is formed here, which is parallel to the horizontal. Now, so here we have the angle of depression, which is the angle formed between the horizontal and the line of sight. Now, with angle of depression, the line of sight is below the horizontal, where with angle of elevation, the line of sight is above the horizontal. Now, a key thing to note is you will see that there's a Z angle that is formed here. What that means is the angle that is here would be the same angle that is formed inside here. So let's say we have this example here. An observer standing on the top of a vertical cliff spots a house in the adjacent valley at an angle of depression of 15 degrees. The cliff is 70 meters high. How far from the house is the base of the cliff? So the first thing you want to do is you want to draw your cliff. So let's say this is our cliff. And we know that it is 70 meters high. Let's say that this is the observer's eyes. So always focus on, you don't know what exactly the height of the observer themselves is. So what you want to do is you want to focus on the height of the cliff because you know what the height of the cliff is. So then it says that the house is in the adjacent valley. So that means the house is probably somewhere over here, adjacent to the cliff. So from the top of the cliff, we would want to draw our horizontal line. So this is our horizontal line. Horizontal. We want to draw our line of sight from here to the house because we know it is an angle of depression. That means the angle is formed here, which is 15 degrees. Now, this would be the base. So what would happen? So what would happen? Because you know that this is 15 and you see the Z angle, you know that this is 15 degrees as well. Now we want to find how far the base of the cliff is from the house. So that means we're finding this part here. So based on the angle here, we know that this over here is the opposite and this is adjacent. Also, something important to note, if you look here, this forms a right angle. We know that a right angle measures 90 degrees. So if this part is 15, that means this part is 75 to get the full 90. And if you have the 75 degrees and the 15, you know that angles in a triangle sum to 180. And also this is a right angle, so this will be 90. Great. So the formula that we would use would be tan, because tan has opposite and adjacent in it. So it will be tan 15 is equal to opposite, which is 70, over adjacent, which is x. So we could write this as a fraction and cross multiply. So we'd have x tan 15 is equal to 70. Dividing both sides by tan 15. This cancels this. That means x will be equal to 261. If you wanted to give it to, let's say, 1 decimal place, it will be 0.2 meters. Okay, so let's say we have this question here. A man looks out to sea from a cliff at a height of 15 meters. So the first thing we can do is draw our cliff. So let's call this our cliff. And again, we can draw the eyes. Remember, we don't know the height of the man, so we just have to use the height of the cliff that is given, which is 15 meters, right? Then it says he sees a boat that is 120 meters from the cliff. So that means the boat is about here. So we can draw our boat. Great. So he sees the boat. That means there's an angle of depression that goes down, and you know that you have your horizontal. So the line of sight goes down because it's depression. This is your horizontal. That means the angle will be formed here. But again, you could connect the base of the cliff from the boat, and you know that the angle here will be the same thing as the angle here. So the distance between the boat and the cliff is 120 meters. So you're basically finding the angle here. So based on this, this would be the opposite, and this would be the adjacent. So again, the formula that has opposite and adjacent would be tan. So it's tan, the angle is equal to opposite over adjacent. So it's tan angle, we don't know what the angle is, opposite, which is 15, and adjacent, which is 120. So the angle is equal to, we have to find the inverse trig function of 15 over 120. That means the angle would be equal to 7.125 degrees. So because here would be 7.125, that means here would also be 7.125. So your angle of depression is 7.125. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for staying tuned, and I'll see you guys next time on the Dark Tube.